everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and T-Roy is here. What up, T?
Howdy, sir.
How are you, my friend?
I am on fucking vacation.
Oh, yeah? You got tomorrow off?
Yeah, 5-day weekend for me.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
So Monday's the national holiday.
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
I love when T's on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great news.
Company made it a 4. I decided to make it a 5.
Attaboy. So you just took tomorrow off, too?
Yep.
Good move. I like that.
I do, too.
I like that.
Big fan.
I gotta relax this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
My ass is hurting.
Oh, why?
Not from anything I did. I don't. Maybe from laying on the couch.
Wasn't anything I did.
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't anyone did. But I just like.
Yeah, you need to maybe be a little more active.
I'm getting a little T-Roy pimp limp going. Is what I'm noticing.
Oh, see? Don't
it's
jack
all
my
sore.
style.
Not trying to.
That's mine.
Not trying
All
to.
mine.
Hey, I'm very excited today, as we are going to be joined here momentarily by the Woke Bay.
The Woke Bay.
TDC Podcast Woke Bay.
The one and only.
Actual name Garrett, but I like Woke Bay better.
Sure.
So I hope
If we
I
said
hope he's cool
Garrett,
with it.
nobody would know what the fuck we were
Yeah,
talking about.
Woke
so,
Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people know. Everybody knows.
Yeah. And he's got a story to tell. I'm interested in. He's a young guy. He's been listening to us for a long time,
Yeah.
which is weird.
I didn't think,
But,
I
I
didn't think
love
the
it.
kids listened to us.
I know, right?
Yeah, we were just the grumpy old men.
Yeah, but they get stuck too.
According to my daughter.
Hey, good conversation's good conversation.
That
You
is
know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, right
So we'll welcome him in a minute. Well, I wanted to pound through a couple stories. You know, obviously what's going on in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should mention the Amazon link, DetroitCast.com. Click the link, shop as normal. MyPillow.com. Use promo code TDC. Get all their sale prices. Look for the radio icon. Go in there. That's where the best sales are on the website, mystore.com. Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Sign up, show your support. Exclusive content. I promise you'll love it. There's a tier for everybody in there.
Yeah.
And
in fact, there's a couple new members.
Okay.
While we're on that one,
Who we got?
we have Austin Bass.
Austin Bass.
Or
That
is it-
person should probably live in Texas.
Or is it Austin Bass?
How you spelling it?
B-A-S-S.
Like Lance Bass.
But it's also bass. Is it
As in
not?
slapping the bass?
Slapping the bass?
Yeah.
So it could be bass, could be bass.
I'm going to go Bass. What are you
Okay.
going?
I'm gonna go bass. Just
So we're
because-
both going Bass?
Yeah.
So no bet?
No bet. Yeah,
All right.
because I think you're gonna go. I think Bass. I don't think anybody's going Bass as their last name.
I
So-
would. If my
I would
last
too.
name-
I would absolutely go by Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Bass, Troy Bass.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. To the base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Middle
yeah.
name's Slavenda. And
Uh-oh.
I think we're joined by royalty.
Okay.
Tommy Buck
Tommy Buck.
the Third.
Ooh. Oh.
I.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Tommy Buck the Third. Now
Buck's a strong name, man.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
of
a
course.
cool ass
Yeah.
name.
But I
Buck.
mean, I think going by Tommy takes a bit of the royalty out
It
of it.
should have been Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas
Yes.
Buck the
Thomas Buck the
Maybe he's
Third.
dumbing down for our benefit. He knows we're
Perhaps.
white trash, so he's like,
Perhaps.
I'm going to go Tommy Buck.
Could be one of those things where my father was Tom, his father was Thomas, so he was Tom. Now I have to be Tommy.
Tommy,
That's
yeah.
how you differentiate in the household.
Yeah, but I figure
Mom's
if-
got to
if-
call you something. You can't
if-
just say Tom and then they all come running.
I'll tell that to George.
Yeah,
And
fuck,
his, you know,
Foreman.
George Foreman, yeah.
Well, that
Named all
point just
5
makes
of
it
his
easier.
Kids, even his daughter, George. Yeah. I'll come running.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to name your kid, if you're going to do a 1, a 2, and a 3,
yeah.
I
I'd be
would think
curious.
you'd want them to have the same name.
I'd be
I think
curious
that's
if
the whole point.
if there is a fourth. Did he
Yeah.
go with the IV?
Yeah, you go with the IV.
Yeah. Well, maybe there is already. I don't know. I'm curious.
That's when you're getting into blue blood level.
Yeah.
When you get into the
Oh,
4s and
yeah.
5s.
Yeah.
If you can get an IV and a V,
Yeah, for sure.
you're talking, that goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you grew up in a castle.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Yeah.
did. So he probably grew up
You
in a
own
castle.
people if you have a V.
Yeah, if you have a V,
your family
you
owns
did own
somebody
people.
at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah. They're embarrassed about it now, but not back then. They were very proud of the ones they owned.
Yeah, for sure.
Texas shooter situation. This is playing out like a normal story in these situations where you've got a loner, loser, bullied,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And the gun debate is going to rage. That's going to happen no matter what.
Of course.
It's filled with lies, probably on both sides, to be honest, about the realities of, when you look at assault weapons, I put that in quotes because it's basically just a rifle.
Yeah.
When you look at the amount of school shootings or nationwide, assault weapons make up about 3% of the murders in the country. Okay, when you're talking about an AR-15, it's less even than that. When you're talking about the actual murder rate in this country, you got 10,000 murders, 60%, 59% are by handgun.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it's easier to conceal. I mean, you're just walking down the street with an AR, you know,
Right.
so that
So I don't know what the answer is.
I don't either. I am all for the background checks.
But they have background checks.
I mean, whatever this. I mean,
we're all for background checks. How do you weed out mentally ill people before they've committed a crime? That's the hard part.
That is very true.
You know, because I mean, unless you want to start arresting people for thought crimes, there's really no way to do it. It's like, hey, posted something kind of macabre online. He posted something that scared a few people. What do you want the police to do?
How do you feel about raising it to 21?
I don't know that it matters.
No,
I think people that are that sick are going to find a way to get what they want,
possibly,
and do their thing. But
I was thinking about that a little bit today. I'm like, what? Because I mean, you know, it's gonna the whole gun control thing is going to come up. But what do you actually do? You know, like they want to scream gun control, but what does that actually mean?
Yeah,
you know, what do you actually do to
either.
make a difference in this? Because people want guns, they'll get guns.
Yeah,
it's just that easy. But you know, if you could make them harder to get, maybe, you know, but if you really want it, you're going to do it. Or you're going to find a different way to do whatever you're going to do. You know, people are going to start learning how to make bombs and shit like that.
Yeah, 3D print guns. You don't even need to go to the store.
Right. Fucking go rent your $17 Home Depot truck and drive it through a fucking crowd. Yeah. Whatever it is.
And I'm just talking reality here. Okay. I don't have a bunch of guns.
Oh.
I have one, you know, Glock. But yeah. It's nice. Nice Glock. It'll do the job.
Yeah.
It'll do the job. But I'm not talking taking emotion out of it, because it's really easy to get up and pound the table today and be like, we can't take this for one more minute, like all the shitty monster swamp creatures are doing today.
Of course.
You know, just all talk.
It's their opportunity.
Yeah, it's their opportunity. It changes the subject from whacked out inflation and gas prices. You know, it sucks that it wasn't a white guy, because they would have loved to have spun this into a white nationalist thing. Yeah. But Salvador Ramos, and you know, as is the case with all these stories, I don't care if you're going back to Columbine, Parkland, Stoneman, Murray, Douglas, whatever it was, like any of these incidents, the story's developing. And when we came on and were live yesterday, it was 14 dead and one teacher. That's now up to 19.
Yeah, by the time we got done and went upstairs, it was like
17.
20.
Yeah. So these numbers could change over the days. His grandmother's still alive. She got shot in the face.
Oh man, she survived.
She's a critical little fighter.
Yeah.
You know, and they really want her to be alive, because they want to know what the fight was. Neighbors are saying there was some big blowout fight before he shot her. So they're really hoping she stays alive and can shed some light, because they can't find any family for him.
Nothing?
No. No father in the home. You know, typical layout. Kid had a shitty life, you know, and then is bullied on top of it. And I just can't believe bullying is still going on at this extent, where, you know, if you want to, it's the Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler thing. Remember in where he goes back to school?
Yeah, and he apologizes and checks him off the list.
Yeah.
And Billy Madison, I believe.
Billy Madison, thank you. It's that where it's like, you know what, man? Just being cool to these kids that you think at that age are uncool. First off, they're probably going to be the real cool ones down the road.
Right.
But it's hard to see out of that bubble that you live in and exist in. And it's like, no, he's always going to be uncool. Well, those fucking gamer nerds and those computer nerds grow up to be really, really fucking interesting and cool people.
Yeah.
And the football jock a lot of times grows up to be a real douchebag.
Generally, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
usually those are their best days.
Right.
You know,
and the
ones
old Bundy.
Exactly. You know? They live in those times, and the other ones move on and evolve and become you know, great people.
So a couple of much beloved teachers, they say, were killed. I mean, it's just an awful, awful tragedy.
Yeah.
He was shot in a shootout with a Border Patrol office. It's the second deadliest shooting in U.S. history after the infamous Sandy Hook massacre in 2012, which saw 26 people killed, and that was all kindergartners. And has once again left people asking how someone could commit such a heinous crime. Stories about Ramos are beginning to emerge from those who knew him best, painting the picture of a loner with a propensity for self-harm and violence, who was from an unstable home, including alleged drug user mom. The school shooter was born in North Dakota but attended high school in Uvalde. Neighbors and classmates say his behavior spiraled into bizarre and macabre as he entered his late teen years, with one friend saying he had scars on his face and someone asked him if he was okay. He answered with a smile, "I did it myself. I like how it looked." I don't know.
Yeah.
Kids do stuff like that. What are you going to do? Arrest him, throw him in jail for that?
No.
I mean,
yeah. Cutting is a thing.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge thing. Lots of kids do that.
Yeah.
He began dressing in dark clothes and military boots, used his BB gun to target random people on the streets. Apparently, he would go out at night.
Just shoot people with a BB gun?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a bit of a red flag there.
Bit of a red flag, but you could have said that with us with mailbox baseball.
Yeah, well, that's...
I mean, I guess it's not an individual, but it's destructive and shitty, and you're immature. It's not something we're going to do now.
Yeah.
But when we were 16, it was funny.
But again, I mean, when you talk about those things, like, okay, well, this guy was running around randomly shooting people with BB guns. Like, okay, maybe it shouldn't have a real gun. You know? I mean, I know maybe it's not really a crime, maybe it's not, and I'm not, proposing it. I'm just saying that when there are things that you can, okay, or maybe there's a waiting period or something, like, okay, you've done some weird shit in the past, so we're not going to say yes this time, but circle back. We'll take a look at it again, in a year or whatever.
I doing that on a mass scale.
I understand.
It's really difficult.
Very, very.
According to his neighbor, Ruben Flores, the shooter and his mom would often have screaming matches with police being called to the home. In since deleted Instagram videos, Ramos has allegedly filmed his mother interacting with police. Classmate Nadia Reyes claimed he called his mom a bitch and said she wanted to kick him out. He'd be screaming and talk to his mom really aggressively. Flores told the Washington Post how he had tried to be a father figure to Ramos, but that situation at home only worsened as he got older. His grandma, who owned the house, was in the process of evicting the mother over her drug use in the days before Tuesday's killing spree. She would be Ramos's first victim, but the 66-year-old is reportedly in critical, but still hanging on.
Hang in there.
Yeah. By all accounts, Ramos had been a relatively normal child until the 8th grade, with his best friend from that period, Steven Garcia, branded him the nicest and shyest kid who just needed to break out of his shell. Ramos was bullied for a stutter and a lisp. See, that's shit. That's awful. That's just terrible.
Kids suck, man.
Yep. Classmates called him gay slurs. I don't know what that was. Oh, I think he put eyeliner on.
Yeah.
And posted a picture. And so they started calling him gay slurs. You can see kids being assholes like that.
For sure.
He was branded an emo or alternative at school, where he got into multiple fist fights before increasingly playing truant. So that would like truancy, like truant skipping class, or is that a video game?
Playing truant. Okay, yeah.
Playing
so it's
truant.
like playing hooky.
Truancy, playing hooky.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm on board with him there.
Yeah.
During the last few months of his life, Ramos was working at a Wendy's and was hardly in attendance at school. He was not set to graduate, and he did not like this, that he wasn't going to graduate. One neighbor said he witnessed Ramos arguing with his grandma on Tuesday, claiming he was angry that he did not graduate. Grandma screamed then, he shot me, before he zoomed down the road and crashed his pickup truck before going on the killing spree. One thing I am confused about, honestly, this story just doesn't make sense to me.
Which part?
Because
all of it?
Well, no. This is a gun-free zone, the school.
Yeah.
Right? There's signs posted, this is a gun-free zone.
Oh, yeah.
So how on earth
did he get by that?
Maybe
he can't read.
Yeah. Maybe he isn't graduating.
That's true. Maybe he can't read. Maybe that's part of why he didn't graduate.
So this is a tough one for me, because I know those are a big, huge deterrent for criminals. When it says gun-free zone, it's like, rats.
I was gonna. If it weren't for that sign.
For that yellow and black sign saying gun-free zone. Yeah. Maybe they'll take it down, or I can come back later.
Yeah, I can't fathom how, even if you decide that you want to go on a murdering rampage, if your world's falling apart, whatever it is, it's got you so fucked up in the head that you want to go out and shoot people that you don't know.
Yeah.
The fuck do you go to an elementary school for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go to a mall. I mean, it just like that.
Go to a mall.
What I'm for real. You know what I mean? Like, at what point do you go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go shoot little kids.
Yeah.
Like I can't even, not that it makes sense to just go shoot anybody, but like if that's your intent, like I'm going to go find people to shoot,
Right.
You know, go to a public place, go to somewhere crowded. That's why I say a mall, not suggesting it. But
Yeah.
if that's what you wanted to do.
Unless you want a spectacle so grand that your name is forever.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, you want to be the king of all school shootings.
If he was pissed
you
at
can't get worse than a fucking elementary school.
I mean, I guess that's true. But I mean, do you really think that he thought that far ahead? Like, he was so, like, the people that bullied him in the school that he didn't graduate from, like, it would make sense on some level if that's where he went back to go do it and shoot up.
Yeah.
You know? But it just, I don't know. It's incomprehensible to me.
He went into the school, took a right into a classroom, locked the door behind him, and that's where 99% of the killing went.
Oh.
He just plucked them off like fish in a barrel.
Fuck.
All these kids, the teachers.
Yeah.
They were trying to scramble and bust out the windows and get out. He was in that school for 30 minutes.
Oh, my God.
30 minutes before anyone showed up. Think about that.
Oh, my God.
And the cop that finally heard shots,
yeah,
he was part of their like SWAT unit on the Texas Border Patrol. This is like 60 miles from the border.
Yeah. I heard it was Border Patrol agent.
Dude, he busted in before any backup got there and took this son of a bitch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He went in there. I think he got shot in the leg himself before he took him down. But you think about the scene those kids witnessed.
Unreal.
Yeah, unreal. I mean, you know, as much
30 minutes. God, I had no idea it was that long.
Can you imagine? That must have felt like an eternity.
Why could it possibly take that long? I mean, the first shot,
yeah,
somebody had to call. I mean, especially if it was in one classroom with the door locked. You know, the other teachers, the principals, the staff, you know, had to be immediately calling 911.
Yeah.
How the fuck is it 30 minutes?
I don't know.
Staggering.
Yeah. But this guy, absolute hero for rushing in there. Garrett, why don't you hop in here, buddy?
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't you jump in here? A couple
on
questions
that note,
on this. Welcome to the show, The Woke Bay.
Hey, how's it
going good. Hold on, let me turn your mic on.
Yeah, there you go. That helps.
All right.
That helps. How are you,
going, fags? Yeah,
What's happening?
Hey.
Oh.
Are you allowed to say that? Is that like the N
I'll
word
give you guys the
for
pass.
black
You're
guys?
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's my pass?
You know, I was meant to bring them, left them on my shelf at home right above my computer. I know where they're at, though. I can send them later.
This is like the date where you leave something
Yeah,
behind
I
so
was
you come
nervous,
back later.
right? I was getting nervous.
I got you.
I get it. Smart.
Before we get into the whole trans identity politics shit, I did want your opinion on something like this, because you're a young guy.
Yeah.
You were in high school just a handful of years ago yourself. And this kid, a lot of these stories are coming up where it's like, oh, he was a huge fan of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Now, I always hated those arguments when we were growing up, like video games are leading to blah, blah, blah.
I can't go. Don't get me started, because I was playing Call of Duty before I got here.
Yeah. Okay. And you don't feel like shooting up the world?
No, not at all. I own guns. I play video games. I've never had any inkling to ever shoot up a school or anybody who wasn't trying to attack me.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like I got them for self-defense, and I meant to keep it that way.
It feels like a hollow argument. Like when we were growing up, the game, you know, you had duck hunt and shit, and it got into
music and movies for your generation.
Yeah, it was what?
It was always the music and movies, like Marilyn Manson's converting all the kids.
Right. And I never bought any of that shit, but
it's got to desensitize on some level, though. With the
some
games,
level.
the Call of Duty, I mean, we're like, it's just to kill people, the Grand Theft Autos, the things like that, just the evolution of games these days.
like it's full blood and
It does
guts.
get
and,
very
right?
realistic, but
yeah.
It's
I mean, it's
very
not going
realistic.
to make you go do it, but
No.
I got to believe on some level it desensitizes you in some way to the
But I
violence
mean, like, even
and things
if you
like
want to
that.
say like the modern games are so desensitizing, I mean, the Columbine kids were playing Doom and they were getting really into Doom mags, making things of their school and everything like that. So if you look into their history, they were very much into like old video games. So it isn't even like new graphics and duck hunt and everything like that. That's what's causing it.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
But Doom was
now
still
then.
basically a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it was.
Basically, right? Just in space kind of a thing.
That was in hell.
Oh, hell. Oh, whatever.
In hell.
Whatever.
Killing
It was the
demons.
same thing.
But
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it, because killing demons in hell,
Yeah.
like fine, but it's so realistic. And I'll say this: the movies, right?
Yeah.
It used to just be, and I'm no prude. I love all of it.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it used to be someone got shot, and maybe they'd have a little bit of red coming in there, like and then they fall down.
I'm a huge Tarantino fan, so I know where you're going
Oh,
with this.
Yeah, but then as we get more and more, and the filmmakers get better, and the graphics get better, what they can do,
Yeah.
and you know, blowing someone's head off and brains splattered all over the wall. Like, I love it, but I gotta wonder. Like, there was a time when I didn't want to see any of that shit. I don't like watching someone roll an ankle in a basketball game. Like,
Was it the A-Team where nobody ever actually got shot? Now all of that and all the
Yeah,
shooting and
probably.
stuff. Nobody ever actually got hit.
Yeah.
In that, they just shot like got cover and got away. But
Yeah.
I think it was the A team that 9 million rounds fired, but no one
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
got shot ever in that show.
Yeah. Well, it's an ABC television show.
I know.
you
I'm just saying, but the difference that's the irony of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, going to the whole video games causing shooters, I think it's a lot of just parents not monitoring their kids and just like, yeah, whatever, get out of my face, take this,
Yeah.
go away, go sit in your corner, and they're sitting in that, they're
Electronic
going through.
babysitter.
Yeah, it's like that's all they're doing, so that's all they're seeing. They don't have any kind of like gauge for what's around them and what actual life is like.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you spend your whole childhood growing up playing nothing but shooters, that's all your friends do, that's all you talk about, it's all you know.
Yeah.
You kind of get a little more involved in more of the wrong way.
Yeah. I could see that. I wonder if it leads, like, do a lot of kids your age want to go and play like paintball stuff?
I'm the worst. I never switched the cameras over. I just looked over. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
So,
nobody
my
else did.
apologies.
Yeah, he's a
My
handsome
apologies.
young man.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
thank
listen.
you.
I was
Yeah.
just into the conversation.
all
I'm
right.
used to being
It
there.
happens.
Forget this side.
So I'll just say the faceless part of the show.
Yeah.
I'll be a
Now,
voice in the
there you
corner.
are. Wearing your worn out Detroit cast beanie. I love it.
Had it for years.
Classic.
I love it. What was I saying about the video games? Shit.
They're violent.
Yeah, they're fun. No. Oh,
Yeah.
Does it lead to kids going to play paintball?
Yeah, I mean,
and
there's
stuff
a
like
lot
that.
of
Is there a
paintball
lot
things
of?
like that. I mean, I joined the military. It was never because of Call of Duty, but it was just because of Call of Duty was actually like they had a whole marketing campaign with the military for a while, so it was more to get kids involved in joining the armed forces and things like that.
You did?
I did. I was in the Navy for a whole 2 months.
2
I know,
months.
go figure. Gay guy in the Navy.
Don't ask, don't tell, right?
Exactly.
Why did you leave after 2 months?
I got an injury in boot camp. Got sent home on a medical separation.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. It actually is kind of leads into the whole trans thing, which is where I'm here now.
Yeah. So what makes you're 24 years old
Yep.
now. You've been listening to this show for years.
Oh yeah,
Since you were like 18.
17, 18. Yeah,
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah.
around there.
How did you find our show?
Like I said, I was a big Drew and Mike fan growing up. It was always just kind of what was on the radio, what my dad was listening to, and everything like that. And after the Drew and Mike show went down, or Drew moved to the sports channel, everything like that, I was trying to find just things to listen to because just getting out of high school, I had lots of free time. And when I was at work, I like to sneak a headphone in. I could never listen to music because now I can't hear a customer.
Yeah.
So it'd always be a podcast or something. I was just going through first it was Dave and Chuck, which was annoying as all hell.
Yeah. It's
And then Drew and Mike podcast, and the Drew and Mike podcast, it's good, but they do a lot of celebrity talk, and I was never interested in celebrity talk, so
Yeah,
I
me
ended
either.
up finding you guys, I think, around episode like 200, just for because big Drew and Mike fan, kind of see what's in the area, and then
Yeah.
the Detroit cast, Mike Walters, I know that name,
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
here I am.
Yeah. So you didn't find yourself horribly offended by?
No, I've always had a great time just listening
Yeah.
to discerning opinions and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, I first saw you on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you were.
That's still where I only message you.
Yeah. You still
There's
message me there now, but you were TDC's Woke Bay.
Yeah.
For the longest time, and you would message me, and you had the hair.
Oh yeah.
The lipstick, the eye. I mean,
I figured,
gorgeous.
fuck it, let's go.
Stunning. Yeah. And it was like, is this dude for real? Like, he's young and listening to us.
Yep.
We're more, I mean, a lot of people would call us conservative or right wing,
boomers.
Whatever. Boomers. Yeah, not boomers.
Yeah,
son
that
of a
too.
bitch.
I can't help it.
So yeah, man, it was kind of wild, and we just started kind of communicating
Yep.
through that, and it was like you were going through. I don't know what you would call it. I'll let you explain it.
So the big thing was when I got out of the military, it's like I was already having problems with depression beforehand, but I wanted to change my life and do something really good. So I went to the military, and after that didn't work out, I felt very useless. I felt at my lowest. So I would be at home, I'm just in my own head thinking things over, like, why am I not accepted? Why can't I just do these things? Why can't I do better in life? And then you get in the online communities, because video games were a good escape.
Yeah.
And making friends through those video games and stuff, getting into those online communities. Eventually, I started getting down to like groups of people who would, because I've always had thoughts of maybe I'm gay or anything like that. It's never been, too scary to me. But
And
I would talk to.
what was that like for you? Was it like, oh, I look at guys and I think that one's cute.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
it was,
don't
like-
have those feelings towards women. Or
Yeah, even in high school and everything like that, it's like I could find a girl cute, but it'd be like a guy would find like Brad Pitt attractive. Where it's like,
right.
oh,
Easy to do.
that's a cute girl, but like it's kind of like more so I kind of identified with that, which is where I told a friend about that, and then they're like, well, maybe you're trans. I'm like, I don't know, I never thought about it. I don't feel that way. And then later on, their friends come in like, maybe you're trans, and I'm like, maybe I don't know about that. I'm already in a
And
pretty
how
bad
old are you
spot.
at this point?
I was probably 18.
18. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, about a year and a half of just being in those communities. They're well-meaning people. I think they were trying to help. At the same time, they were just they wouldn't tell you no, and that's one of the biggest problems I see in a lot of those like oh, we need to get our kids cut like as you say,
Yeah.
cut their dick off.
Cut
As soon as
all
they
their
like a
dicks
rainbow,
off.
cut their dicks off.
Yeah.
It's like it was kind of like that where it's like I was talking to these people and they wouldn't say no. So if they'd say maybe you're trans, I'm like, well, I don't know, I haven't tried anything. They're like, well, try something. So I let's try a wig on or something. Let's try some lipstick on. Next thing you know, that I'd take a photo, and no matter how god awful it fucking looked or how weird it was, they'd be like, oh my god, yes, that's beautiful. Keep going, queen.
Yeah.
That was positive validation. I was at a low point, so I wanted any kind of positive validation I could get.
Yeah.
So I'd go further and further. Eventually, this couple years down the line, I'd come out to my mom as trans, and she was like, nah.
No.
Like, she was very supportive, very open about the gay, very happy with everything. My dad too. And
that's
eventually when I
awesome,
talked
man,
to
to
them,
get
she
that
was like,
support.
no, that's not you.
Yeah.
And, I was inclined to believe her a little bit more.
What was your relationship like with your parents up until that point?
Up until that point, they were the most supportive people. I mean, my mom's philosophy and my dad too. They're like, they just want me to be happy and be successful.
Yeah.
So that's, all you can ask in a parent. They're very kind to me. They've never like kicked me out over things that I thought, even my little brother, he argues with my dad all the time about woke politics versus my dad's old conservative stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like we actually love the arguments in our household and, discerning opinions, which I think is why I love this show, because it's kind of like being able to listen to the news in that same way.
Yeah.
And
was it hard though, even with the support you were getting from your parents? Because I felt like I grew up in a household like that.
Yeah.
Like had I come out to my mom and said, "Hey, I think I'm gay," it would not have been like, "You're going to church for conversion therapy."
No, it was never
She
that.
would have leaned into that. My dad would have leaned into that.
Yeah.
I imagine your parents would have been supportive of that too.
I'm sure. Yeah,
even though
absolutely.
it was a different time in the 90s. But were you concerned at all?
I was for a bit, trying to open it. It's very hard to talk to your parents about anything, sexual related, even if it's straight.
Totally.
It's like, it's still hard to talk to your parents about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So that's where I did get a lot of my news or, feedback from people online and like friends, people more my age. But when I did open up to my mom about being gay and my dad too, it was just kind of it was surprising to see how very accepting they were about it. They're like, look, are you being safe? Are you not hurting anyone, not hurting yourself?
Yeah.
Then go for it.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
it was great.
That's very cool. I imagine a lot of people have that story, that same story too. Now as it's become more accepting and more of a reality for people. I think, like, I know how I was with my folks, and I didn't want to talk about shit with them.
Yeah.
At all. I could talk to Troy's dad. I could talk to my other friends' parents, but my parents,
It's like, I got to live with them.
Yeah.
no, I don't want to talk.
It's different.
Discuss.
It's a totally different
It is.
level.
It is. And because you're always the kid. And I've put myself in that position where just even thinking about it, like, if I wanted to come out to my parents, like, how fucking nerve-wracking would that be?
It's hard.
It seems
And
like it'd be very
I think
hard.
that's where a lot of kids fall into the trap of listening to people more their age, which is not the smartest because, think about what you're doing when you're 18, 19. You probably
my
made a
God.
lot of dumbass decisions. So
Yes.
I'm listening to people my age about life decisions that I'm about to make for my whole life.
so
going
what?
forward.
So your mom was just like, no.
Yeah, she was like, look, I love you. No.
Yeah, you're not.
And, at first I was a little upset because I was like, well, how come she doesn't understand me? Why doesn't she do this? And, later on I thought about it.
Little did you know that she did more than you
She
realized.
understood a lot
understood
more
a
than I
lot.
thought. Yeah. She
Yeah.
did sit me down. Like, it wasn't just a simple flat out no, but she did talk me through and everything like that. And the big thing was, she was like, I think this is you just getting in the online circles and not hearing anything negative about what's going on.
Yeah.
It started making me think a little bit differently about that. And then she said, she knows I struggled with depression and everything like that. And she says, maybe I'm just using this as an excuse for the depression or as like a fallback. Like, this is what I think my depression is linked to, and I should seek actual help for that.
Yeah.
So I did. I changed up my therapist and everything like that. And I started getting somebody who would challenge me on all these beliefs and thoughts. And, they would also be kind about it. If things sounded right, they'd say that sounds right. If they sounded wrong, they'd say it sounds wrong.
That's great.
And that's what I needed, because I think after talking to that therapist, I learned a lot more about being comfortable with just who I am and how I am.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I didn't have to
Yeah.
go ahead and cut my dick off and get a
Yeah.
big pair of fucking titties to
Yeah.
prove that I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could totally see that. Like, thinking back to those ages.
Yeah.
There was so much posturing, when you're 15, 16, 17, 18, of desperate to be cool, accepted by your peers, thought of as one of the cool kids. And there's so many kids that don't fall into that category.
Yeah.
They just don't. Troy and I were lucky. Troy's a big fucking kid, athlete,
I was
no
not.
one no one was gonna mess with him. Right. I was a little dude, but I was funny.
Oh, yeah. See,
And-
I've been this size my whole life, and I'm awkward.
I think you look great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Seriously. But had I been bullied like Big E was, I might have shot up to school.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have taken that shit well, dude.
Didn't seem like that was the answer back then.
No, it wasn't.
No,
No,
that's
it wasn't.
that's a weird thing of like why that's the go-to now.
Yeah.
But
Like I said, I still think a lot of that, even when you're talking about the whole school shooting, I was sitting in the corner over there. I was thinking about it where it's more of I think that kid got in his own circles and he was listening to other people who were angry at the world and just pissed off. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if his internet history is just 4chan straight down. You know, just getting
You're gonna have to help me figure out 4chan. By the way, I look at that thing and it's
an interesting site.
I'm so confused, man.
Don't. Just don't.
Stay away.
I want to because I hear people go, "Oh man, yeah, you got to read this in 4chan." And I'm like, I don't know how to
just
get there.
it's an image board where anyone can be anonymous, so anyone can post from anywhere in the world. But
Lots of porn.
Yeah, lots of porn. But there's no username, no thing tying it back to you. So people say the most ridiculous shit you can, and they often encourage ridiculous shit because nobody's gonna link it back to them.
Right.
So it's just a lot of people without any kind of like taking responsibility for anything they say on the internet.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Do you feel like you were getting pressured to sort of go the trans route?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I was getting heavily pressured because
by just friends or by even adults, or
I mean the friends and the people I talked to online. I mean their ages kind of ranged anywhere in the mid-20s, you know, sometimes even early 30s. So it's like I did feel like I was getting pressured a lot after I thought about it, you know, because when I was in it, it felt like, oh yeah, well these guys are my support, they're my friends, you know, I talk to them all the time, they wouldn't let me down. And then later on I kind of realized like they were pushing heavily towards these things, even though it's something that probably wasn't the right option.
Yeah.
And once I found the right option that was working for me a lot better, I realized that I think they were just trying to make another trans person so that they felt accepted about themselves.
Right. I can believe that.
And that's sometimes when I see those trans stories, I can see it's probably a lot of trans people with regret trying to make themselves look valid by having everybody supported.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me like you can find, if you look, you can find the stories of people that realize it was a big mistake.
Yeah.
And where I get into fights with my liberal friends off the air is they're like, hey man, these people are just trying to fit in a really tough spot. You know, what do you care if there's a book in the back of the library, you know, that they can request and it feels more like their journey.
Yeah.
And I say, I don't have a problem with that.
No, but not in the elementary school because I don't think that kid has
the
impressionable.
Most,
they're very impressionable.
They're stupid, right? They're the dumbest human beings on earth. I'm sorry, there's no way around it. Even the most genius 5-year-old is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
He's 5. Maybe he's going to grow up and be Einstein, but right now he's 5 and he's a total moron, mush brain, and you can fill his head with anything.
Yep.
Anything.
Yep.
You can mold that tiny little thing into whatever you want. And so when you see these, I don't know what else to call them, but activists or groomers. I know people get pissed when I say that, but
completely, I'm 100% call them groomers.
What do you think the outcome's going to be when you're talking about even 6th graders, let alone pre-K through 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think if you're trying to normalize across the board? It just seems dangerous.
No, and it is. It's one of those things where it's like, when I was a kid, I think back on it too, like kind of relating to these kids. If you showed me a new Pokemon card, I didn't know what the hell it was, but if you just told me this is the new coolest thing, it's the new coolest thing to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're doing that with like whole entire political movements that should be kind of reserved for adults, I think it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, little 3rd grade TDC woke baby would be running around like, I want my dick cut off too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because somebody said it was cool.
And I don't think people understand what that entails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, and it's very life-changing things. Like I got lucky I was an adult when I started.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being younger.
How close did you get?
I mean, for me, it was a lot of cross-dressing, a lot of, you know, makeup, things like that. And then identifying. So, you know, online, you can kind of do whatever you want. So it'd be a lot of identifying with different pronouns, things like that. Like, everybody call me a girl. Call me he, call me she, her.
Yeah, yeah.
Call me they, them.
Yeah. I identify as gorgeous and brilliant.
See, that works.
You know, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that those are adjectives, but my adjectives identify as pronouns. So
it works.
Here we are, right?
Yep.
Who's to say?
No, you can't say anything now.
No. It seems like it's so weird to me too. Like any comedy special, like the most. I mean, we say way worse shit.
I love comedy
on this show, right?
Yeah.
Comedy's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best outlet.
Medicine.
It really is for all of us as a society to kind of look at each other and go, yeah, that's true. There's a nugget of truth in that. You know, and you can say brutal things, and the best comedians do. You know, Chappelle's joke about, hey, came at me with a gun, identifying as a knife.
Yeah, I love that joke.
It's fucking hilarious.
Wonderful. Yeah. That's perfectly made.
Why is it, do you think, you know, and I know you won't have a perfect answer for any of this, but like, why is that such a problem? Like, such a freak out, like, transphobe, write him off. He's dead to us. You know, he deserves to be attacked on stage.
Again, I think a lot of that goes back to this shame of, like, being trans isn't normal.
Right.
It just isn't. And I know they hate to hear that. So it's like when they get called out on that, it makes them think that like their whole choice and these things that they've done to changed their identity, like changed their whole body, like all these things they've done, it thinks that it's invalid to them now.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think a lot of people can actually just laugh at that. So it's a very vocal minority, I will say. Like I know a lot of people in my friend groups who are, gay, trans, everything lesbian. And they laugh at that. They absolutely love like the Ricky Gervais special. They think it's the most hysterical thing they heard. They were just tweeting about it.
Yeah, I wonder about that. How much of it is because I know plenty of gay people.
Yeah.
We've had trans listeners come out to events.
Yeah.
And they're worried. And I put them at ease right away. Like everybody's welcome. I love everybody.
Yeah, it's like you're a friend.
Yeah, totally. And you see the wall come down. Like, okay, I am in a safe space. And to see my audience rally around them, like, be your authentic you, man, is inspiring. It's cool. I've had a couple parents come to events and say, give me shit about stuff like, I have a trans daughter and some of the things you say. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry.
It's just what I think.
It's my opinions.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's
it's
the best part about this show is like, it's my opinions. You don't have to think the same way as me.
No, not at all. Apparently someone's trying to make us all think the same way.
Yeah. And that's where I have
scary.
a huge problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing you talked about earlier was when you changed therapists.
Yeah.
And you were able to get a little pushback on that. I think that's so huge because so much of it is just yes.
Exactly.
Even, especially in
it becomes
therapy.
a problem.
When it's no matter what you're feeling, that there is no wrong. Like it's totally right. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling,
I had a therapist doing that, which is
exactly
not making
right.
anything
And
better.
it's not helpful. It's
You
not. It's just not. And
I did have a therapist who was like, just like, oh well, as long as it makes you happy, as long as it makes you happy, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, no, there's
That's
going to
not
be
real
some things in life
therapy.
that are going to make you unhappy.
Yeah.
Life's going to give you some struggles, and you got to be able to have some pushback on that.
That seems criminal, man.
It is. I
To
swear to you,
have
for
a
real. But there's
licensed
so much of that
person-
right
Yeah.
now. It really is. That it's just affirmation. That's it. No matter what.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I want reality.
Yeah.
That's why I came to you. You're the professional. When I tell you fucked up shit, tell me I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, oh, that's fine. No, you're doing great. You just do,
Yeah.
it's
And
so
a lot
good
of
for
the
you.
problem
And
is they're normalizing a lot of the fucked up parts of it.
yeah. And people
Yeah.
get comfortable with that
Yeah.
because it's just like everywhere else where you get all that affirmation. If you're getting it in therapy, then okay, why would I ever change therapists when everything is groovy and they're just
Yeah.
telling me how great I am all the time?
Yeah. It seems criminal. It
Yeah,
really does.
not for
do,
real.
do you have the video there of the guy with the purple hair and the beard
I believe
from
so.
Libs of TikTok? Now, this is
You're
another
throwing
one
me
that's,
off.
that's
You're
sorry, I know.
I'm
Switching it up on you for a reason.
Okay.
Gender dysphoria, right?
Yeah.
They don't like that term very much anymore. The community.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because I thought that was the medical term.
That's the medical
It's kind of
term.
like it's kind of like retard. It's a medical term, and then they're like, you
Right.
can't say that anymore.
Yeah. Well, gender dysphoria, they don't want to acknowledge that anymore because that says there's an illness of some sort, that this is a medical condition.
Yeah.
And I would think with a medical condition, you would want to get help for that medical condition.
that's what I think.
With the goal being to correct or help whatever your medical condition is. Here's a guy who's trans. I don't know if it's so hard to know anymore. Like, is this a
Oh, no,
woman?
That's not a woman.
That woman's got a nice beard.
Yeah.
That's not a woman.
But this is a parent who has a young son and is trying to raise money for his transition because obviously this child has not been indoctrinated in this home.
No, he's completely fine. Nobody's hurting him.
So let's hear from this guy as he begs for money to transition his son.
So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Lyric. Today, making a video that isn't like the other content that I typically make. Basically, I'm raising money to help fund my son's transition-related costs. I'm sharing this with his permission. Basically, we already have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria for him. We have gotten his blood work done, and we need to start him on puberty blockers as soon as possible. Now, I transitioned later, so I wasn't familiar with how puberty blockers worked. Basically, my insurance doesn't cover this, which is wonderful, right? The generic version of Lupron, that we have a 22.5 milligram dose that is going to cost out of pocket $468 per shot, and each shot lasts 3 months. So we need 4 of these a year. Close to $2,000. I have already exhausted most of my funds. I need help.
You guys get the point.
I want to
Try getting a job.
Yeah,
Might be a little hard with the nose ring, but
Uber would work.
Uber will hire.
Yeah, Uber will hire. This seems like Child Protective Services needs to get involved.
It is,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and something I always tell my friends that, you know, when I talk about the whole going back on being trans thing, it's like, well, look at a Facebook post you made 5 years ago and like read through your wall.
Yeah.
It's probably a bunch of shit you absolutely would cringe at and not say. So
Yeah.
imagine doing that with a life choice.
Yeah.
Like go back 5 years and really think about like a tattoo you got or something like that,
Yeah.
or just a dumb style you were wearing.
And that's literally the argument we make.
Yeah.
Like the regrettable tattoo, like everybody our age
oh yeah,
has that, like, oh, I was 18 and I knew everything and I just picked out of a book.
Yeah.
Nothing unique about it. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm for world peace. Let's just
Yep.
get a fucking world peace symbol.
I've
Like,
got a lot of tattoos. I understand.
yeah, and you know,
I'd saved up for a long time to get a whole pot leaf on my back. That was it. I mean, every time I got almost enough money, something came up, and I realized like that was divine intervention or something. That every time, as soon as I got enough money to get the outline, my
I've
car
worked
would
with some
break,
guys who went
something would
through it.
happen. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, and not that it would have been the end of the world, but yeah, I'd look like an asshole with a giant pot
Yeah.
leaf on my back right now.
yeah, you would.
But at the time, it was going to be like the coolest, greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And you can only imagine transferring that same thought process to something like changing your entire
Yeah.
gender and having body surgery and
Right.
taking hormone blockers.
Yeah. Hormone and puberty blockers are interesting because
yeah,
all that really is about is making you hotter, right? Like
Yeah.
making you, so if you take those as a boy who thinks you're a girl, it's meant to feminize you so
Yeah.
that you don't go through the male puberty.
It stops the testosterone from going through your body
Exactly.
and
more
replace it with
passable.
a lot of estrogen.
Right. So you have softer
don't look like
features.
that guy.
So
Yeah.
so you don't look like that dude.
Yep.
But you know, to
Sorry,
act
that
like
lady.
to go, you know, I think he even says in there, or she, I don't know what,
The ma'am, sir.
Yeah.
the ma'am, sir. I don't know what she identify. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he even says in there, you know, like these puberty blockers, they're totally fine, and you can get them off them at any time. And I'm like,
No.
you don't know that, dude.
No.
No.
Lots of people, you don't hear it in the mainstream media, but lots of people have been fucked up with that stuff.
Yep.
And if you search out there, you can find those stories of people who will never sound the same.
And it
again.
disappoints me that those all get shut down
Yeah.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the what is the media?
Yeah.
This vocal minority.
I can't figure out what their push is for this. What's in it for them?
And I don't know. I think it's just got it. The only thing that ever comes to my mind is it has to be validation for their mistakes. Like they did this whole thing, and even some people it works for them, but like there has to be a whole process where they think, I'm not weird, I'm not weird, I'm
Yeah.
not weird, you're weird because you don't agree with this.
yeah.
When it's like, no, you kind of were the weird one in the first place. You went through a whole process that changed your gender, it changed everything you do. And if you like it, that's fine, go for it.
Yep.
Live your life, but then it becomes like, well, I'm living my life, but other people think I'm weird, so I have to make them weird.
Yeah.
And that's probably where they want to convert the kids and everything, get more people on board. So the more people they can get on board,
Just
the
normalize
more
it.
normal they
Normalize.
seem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you get everybody on board, they seem very normal, and anybody who disagrees with that is going to be the outlier.
Yeah. Well, it seems like a very, I don't want to just focus just on the T's
Yeah.
here, you know, but the T's seem to be bullying the shit out of everybody. And for most not normal, but most people, they just want to get through their day, man.
Yeah.
They got a job to do. They got a family
And that's
to
where
raise.
I've been at my whole life. I just want to
Yeah.
get through my day. I don't want to be
Right.
bothered with all this. And
And so, you know, what used to be a silly post on Facebook can turn into a wildfire battle. You know, and you're called every name in the book, from a transphobe to a homophobe to all this stuff. And it's like, hold on. Slow down. Okay.
yeah.
I don't understand how normal people, it seems like it's flipped overnight.
And it was super fast too, because I remember going on dates and stuff with other guys.
Yeah.
And I had one date that will always stick in my head because it's really funny. I went to a Tim Hortons. We were just grabbing some coffee. It's probably going to hang out in the parking lot a little bit, maybe go to a park.
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking a little bit about politics, just kind of general stuff. And,
Yeah.
I told him I was a Trump supporter.
Oh,
I got spit on, called a homophobe, and then he left.
you've got
I got called a homophobe on a gay date. Never did I think that would happen, but it did.
No.
It's hysterical.
What did you do?
I laughed for a second. I figured, you know what? That's not going to work anyways. I wasn't.
Yeah.
If this guy's going to get that aggressive over a differing political view, then
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
Yeah, total Trump.
I'm
derangement.
pretty
funny.
easy at, and this was 2016 in that range, like 2016, 2017.
So right when he was elected?
Right when he was elected.
Oh my
Hysterical.
God, that's so funny. The irony.
I know,
of
getting
like,
called a homophobe on a gay date.
Yeah, I saw it with Milo Yiannopoulos.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
You know, who is dated like exclusively black gay guys.
He was a
Jewish,
white nationalist homophobe.
Yeah.
and a Nazi sympathizer. And it was just like, oh my God, how is he? Larry Elder being called the black face of white supremacy. You're like, really? The guy that grew up with a single parent in the fucking ghetto of Compton, California.
You just have to say it. That's it. It doesn't have to matter. You just have to say it.
It's just hilarious. It's just sad. So that's some of the bullying you've seen.
Yep, I've seen a lot of that stuff. I mean, obviously, you get called fag online. It's whatever. You get called gay.
By who?
Just sometimes there are people who don't agree with you, and if you got the anonymity of online, it's really easy to just kind of be as edgy as you want to be. That's the word for it. It's just edge.
Yeah,
it's just people trying to say things to purposely piss people off. Where a lot of times, if like you'll get in a Call of Duty lobby, and the moment somebody says anything remotely gay, everyone's like, "Oh, fag."
Yeah.
And worse things than that. But it's just some people don't understand how they just go, "Yeah, this guy's just a little shit using internet anonymity, so he can just kind of say whatever he wants. You'll never see him again." They get so upset about it, and they get so like they internalize it all.
I can totally see that, and that's a real thing in the gaming world, right?
It is.
It's the whole internet. It's not just
it's just the internet. You talk shit.
No,
keyboard warriors,
but even
and
more
all
so
that.
because you might know the scandal more than definitely more than I do. But wasn't there something with women not feeling safe and some of the?
Well, yeah, it's a long running joke in video games because it's been a very man thing. Like girls don't play games, so as soon as a girl gets in the lobby, you hear her voice. It's like, "Woman detected! Everyone get down!"
Yeah. And they feel like they're being abused because they're seeing guys like, "Fuck you, cocksucker."
It's just a guy who's
shut up, fag.
He would never say that in front of the girl's face ever.
Right. Of course not.
But
Sitting
when
in
you're
the basement
online
with a headset on.
you got the username, weed smoker 42069.
Yeah,
that's all they know from you.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. And nobody can say anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. But are you ever offended in those chat rooms? And
Oh no, I talk shit back. It's fun.
yeah, see, that's
I
what
try and purposely piss them off just because it's like once they know they can't get one up on you, it makes them even worse.
See, that's just, dude. That's just called.
It's just how it should
It's
be.
just how guys are. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe women are getting into that space, but dude, like, there's nothing better than having a house party.
Yeah.
And all 6 dudes in the room at the time are busting each other's balls about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like one-upping each other. And we're all howling, and we could all take it. And that's what I think of those gaming rooms. And then you take the level of anonymity that you're talking about.
Exactly, and that's where a lot of it starts.
You can go to a whole new level, but I don't know how much of it's real. Like, is this really homophobic people or
no?
I don't think
times
so.
It's really funny too because a lot of times if you talk to those guys outside of like that lobby when they were talking shit, you could privately message them or something. And you could become friends with them just by being genuinely nice to people.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
It's just they were talking all that shit because it's like you can kind of get a riot out of the lobby, get everybody laughing.
Yeah. No, it's funny when we had Mike Masayan last week, and he dropped a nuclear bomb on our audience about he spazzed out about Trump and blah 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 and fuck all you people basically, but he stayed here for 2 nights, and so we were doing breakfast, lunch, dinner, hanging out, going out, and like all that like hidden behind a wall. Fuck you. We could have actual conversations like adults and sit down, not agree on shit, but I could see his point. He could see my point. He's been sending me stories. I'm sending him stories. And what's come out of that is you realize you have a lot more in common than you thought. Where, what do you know? His thoughts on abortion align with mine.
Yeah.
And, where it's like, if you just take the left, right side or whatever, you're fucked.
And that's where the problem hits because you're one side or the other, and if you're anywhere outside of that, you're a monster.
And face to face takes all that anonymity out.
That's why I love
when it's just a blanket statement, into the fucking atmosphere. This is what I think, and it's not directed at any one particular person.
Yeah,
it is a different feel than trying to say that right to somebody's face.
Exactly.
Even if you feel that way, you may not say it. You're not going to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I have the great example of when Mark and I were doing commercials for McDonald's on the Drew and Mike show, and we would get these emails every fucking day. They would air on the Drew and Mike show, and this guy would be like, "Oh, the fucking fat McMuffin twins, you fucking fat McMuffin twins," and it was like, he's getting into my head. He's the only guy, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, you recognized his fucking name on his email and stuff. And then we did a remote at, State Theater or something, and he showed up. He was like, "Oh, you might remember me. I'm blah blah blah."
Yeah, exactly. That's how they always
he's-
are like, "Hey,
Hey.
I'm the McMuffin guy."
Yeah, and he's wearing gray sweatpants with mustard stains on him, and he's 400 fucking pounds.
Oh,
and I'm
Missing
like,
a foot.
I'm like, this is the guy that got in my
And see,
fucking
that,
head.
sometimes that's what I think is like
Yeah.
he's just internalizing it. He's trying to send it
Yeah.
elsewhere, so he's not the weird
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
But it ended right there. It was like, oh, I can't worry about
Yeah.
anything anyone says on
No.
the internet
No, I don't.
directed towards me. You just can't because
No.
everyone's a chest puffed out badass
Yeah.
when they're behind a keyboard. There's no one that's going to talk to T-Roy like that. To
Oh
his
no, he's a
face.
big guy. Even
He's
when
a
I
big
got
dude.
here, I looked at him. I was like, I'm 6'1", and I'm looking up to him.
Yeah, he's a big boy, you know, and he's
That's
yeah.
just respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. You
Yeah.
know, respect.
Don't be
people.
dicks to each other.
It is.
Oh, exactly. Don't. That's all. I would never say something to someone online or
That I
behind their
wouldn't
back
tell
that I
them right to
wouldn't
their
say
face,
right
yeah.
to their face.
And that's my big
where
thing.
people. It's the Tyson thing. Like the social media has made people way too comfortable with talking shit without getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
what it has.
so true.
It's
And I can't
absolutely
even fight.
true.
I still think it's true.
No,
Yeah.
it's absolutely true.
It is.
Like you can, you know, and it's one thing in like a gaming room when it's just
Yeah, you're
busting
trying to make
balls and
people
things like
laugh.
that. But it goes so much deeper than that. You
Yeah.
know, some people just, and some people just get off on it. They're just the trolls.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing.
They want to say the worst thing possible so that everybody will react
Yeah.
because that's
Right.
all the attention they're going to get for that day, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the fat guy that's busting your balls for being fat.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking minister that's leading the anti-gay stuff that's out sucking dick
Yep.
on the
Yeah.
weekends, you know.
That's always my favorite.
Aren't those the best stories?
yeah.
Of course,
Oh,
you know, but
the soapbox box.
Oh, you see
minister.
another one come out. He's like, I hate gays. I hate this, that. I'm
It's
like,
an
give him 2 weeks.
abomination
Right.
against the Lord.
Just give him 2
himself.
weeks. They'll catch him.
Yeah,
listen,
they
if
will.
if you're that vocal about something, there's
Yeah.
probably a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If you're that anti something, yeah. You might be just looking for ways
Oh,
to
yeah.
get a lot of gay people to a camp,
Yep.
right?
right.
I'm going to bring them here. I'm going to convert them with my dick.
So is it hard to date now? If
It's pretty hard to date as a gay guy. Going through I mean, it's easy to get matches just because I'm not a bad looking person, but the
No,
moment I
you're
start
not.
talking
Yeah.
to people, it's awful. It's really hard
Yeah.
to kind of discuss any kind of politics and find a middle ground. And like, not that you have to discuss politics on a date, but it does help in a relationship if you can kind of talk about those things.
yeah. See, here's what I think, Garrett. I think you guys are getting run out of the fucking
Yeah,
shit.
it's
You're-
trans season now.
Dude, it like
Yeah.
the G
Yep.
is getting fucked. I'm sorry. You
Oh
just
no, it's
are.
just T and B.
Dude,
That's all
did you
see.
see? Did
Your
you
time
see
has come and gone.
Yeah, you are not like, dude. You might as well be
Yeah.
a cisgender
Hey,
fucking
that's
exactly.
fine because now
male
we can
right
just
now.
Join
get to
the
the background
club.
like it should be.
Yeah,
Just live my life.
Did you see the Pride Parade in New York City this year, coming up in a couple weeks, has
Yeah.
3 trans people and 1 lesbian. There's not even a gay guy as the fucking grand marshal for the gay Pride Parade in New York City.
LGBT, you got
You
G,
couldn't
you got
represent
T.
every letter.
No, you couldn't represent them all.
It's not even the alphabet. It's just 4.
Yeah.
Dude, no, you've got an L and 3 T's. No G's.
What about the plus representation?
I don't even know it, dude. I've tried to go through it. I've tried to understand
It's
it.
too many letters.
hilarious.
I'm out.
It's too many
I,
letters.
I stop at T, and then even bi doesn't make sense because once you get like the plus, I'm like, doesn't bi just mean 2 genders?
Yeah. And the non-binary.
Yeah.
So
Like, what
I've
is
seen
that?
people identify as lesbian, non-binary, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher.
Don't do the math
gender,
on that.
Gender
Nope.
fluid doesn't.
Yep.
Like,
I'm a wolf
none-
today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the back of your yard howling with Cece.
But yeah, you should.
Oh yeah,
You guys will have a
well, I'm
blast
a wolf
together.
now. She's my friend.
Oh my god, it's just so infuriating because we look at it and just go, no, that doesn't make any
No,
sense.
exactly.
No. But all of a sudden, you got these leaders, political leaders, Hollywood, the mainstream media, just ginning this up and going on. It's like, whoa. Where did this come from? What are we doing here where we're, taking possibly the most vulnerable people? When you look at suicide rates, Jews in Auschwitz had less suicide rates
Yeah.
than trans people pre and post op.
And that's where
Slaves had less suicide attempts than pre and post op. So it's not like they were miserable pre op, got the surgery, now they're awesome. Suicide rates don't
exactly.
change.
And that's kind of
Should
what
say
I noticed.
something.
Where it's like I was suffering from depression, and I thought trans was the answer to that depression.
Uh-huh.
Go figure. 9 times out of 10, it's probably not. You probably
Yeah.
have a deeper issue that you need to get solved or get help with.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't. They just go full on with the trans thing. All their friends tell them it's the best way to go. It's the good way to get it. It's a good way to cure your depression, but it's not going to cure your depression. Now you're just going to be sad and mutilated.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell them that because, you know, a lot of them have already made the choice.
Yeah. And I don't think they've looked at all.
No.
You know, when I've done those stories where I break
I think
down.
once my mom broke it down for me too, where she looked at me and I was like, no, that's not right.
No, dude.
You need to get something else.
No. Yeah.
So when I actually thought about it a lot, I was like, yeah, you know what? I should probably solve, like, that was my thing to myself is I said, I want to solve the depression issue or at least get somewhere in it and get some more help on that before I do any kind of transitioning or life changes.
See, I would not
And
have
a lot
had
of
that
them,
attitude
a lot
at
of them
your
went
age.
life change, then get the help. And I'm like, oh,
That's
the best advice you've gotten in your lives have been no's in a way. You know,
pretty much.
it's funny.
well, it's so fascinating because I would have been so mad at my parents. I would have been adamant that I am trans.
I
and
was
you're not
mad for a
accepting.
second. It was a good,
Like that
week.
shows
I
a
was pretty
level
mad.
of responsibility and maturity to be able to go,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me circle back on this. Give it a few days. Let's let this fucking chill for a second. We got all the time in the world. And to make the decision to go, I'm going to work on myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And if I still have these same feelings,
exactly. And
move forward.
I kind of took that, and that's how I've been living my whole life since then. It's made me a lot happier, a lot better as a person. I just want to solve my own problems, or at least what I can from them, before I get into something else.
Yeah.
It's almost like if there was some sort of a program, some sort of a therapy, something that you could go through, a process to sort of evaluate the situation to see if it's really true or not. The problem is that would be run by the yes crowd.
Yeah.
And all that would be was being doctoring.
Right.
Yep.
And that's why the crowd's it's gone so far.
So if there was some way to put a genuine, thing together to evaluate that, because it is right for some people, I'm sure, and it's not right for a lot of people.
Exactly.
But
I think
how do you differentiate that?
And I'm pretty libertarian. It's like I think it's good for people to live their life, what makes them happy, and how they want to live, without inflicting their things on other people.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't think a lot of people get the right help because they're only told yes. Their therapist is telling them yes. Their doctor probably told them yes.
Yeah.
I've had my own problems
Kids
with them.
at school.
Yeah, the kids at school are probably telling them yes. It's cool to be trans at school now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can only
and
imagine.
they're like bullied, ostracized, whatever, by kids at school, and then you find the group that just supports you and finally get all that validation that you want.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, these people suck. But this is where it's at. Look at how happy I can be if I just do this.
Yeah.
It's so easy to.
And
flip
I don't
the
think
switch.
it's real either. I don't
No,
think that
it's not.
love and
No,
friendship
it's not.
is real.
It's not.
Well, that's the funniest thing because I can tell you the people I started when I was first going through any kind of transition or thoughts like that, they're not here now.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to a single one of them since.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a whole new group of people I talk to, and I don't even expect them to stick around because they're just gaming friends. One day they're going to log out. I'll never see them again.
Yeah.
They don't care about my life.
Yeah.
I learned I had to start focusing a lot more on people I'm actually dealing with on a daily basis. Put a lot more stock in my parents, my brother, my
the
friends
people that
I'm
actually
with.
care about you.
Yeah, people who I'm actually around, and if I called right now would come.
Yeah. Dude, when I went through my stuff and had to health stuff, I literally heard from 5 people.
Yeah.
Right. There were a handful of listeners that reached out, just wanted to make sure you're doing all right. And I didn't expect them to do anything. But my friends, if you will, none of them called. None of them were like, hey, do you need anything? Which is fine, but it really does
It kind of puts in
spotlight
perspective, who's there.
Oh shit! My mom checks in every day. My dad, my sister, my brother, Troy, Tooch. There's a handful of guys, and you go, okay, I get it. These are people that genuinely are like, hey man, I don't care if you never do a show again. Let's just fucking get you a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what
the
I
show
had.
will be. That was Troy's big thing. Fuck the show.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that damn show.
You'll
It'll
always
be there.
Listen,
The
you're never
studio ain't going
getting a
anywhere.
real job. So let's
be
get your
honest.
shit
Hand me
straight,
this.
and then figure out the show. But that's the cart before the horse kind of a thing. You know? Like you had to figure that out,
And
for everything else to be able to work.
that's
out.
another thing I want to bring up too that I almost forgot about is when you're talking to those communities, those outside people, they'll tell you that stop thinking with your family or something, or stop listening to your mom because they said no.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I was angry at first because it's like, well, how does she know? I don't talk to her about this all the time. How does she know what I'm thinking and feeling?
Right. Yeah.
Well, she's been my mom for 24 years now, and she probably knows a lot more than I know.
She definitely knows a lot more than you know. Yeah,
It's like she kind of raised me. I'd hope she knows a little bit more, and I think that actually is another.
You sound like you had wonderful parents, man.
I did.
You got
I really
very
did.
lucky.
No,
You
I
really
love them
did.
both. My mom and dad. I mean, even that's something I was going to say is that a lot of households, their parents aren't there for them. The kids are not getting the parental support they need.
Yeah.
In a lot of households, I mean, divorce is way higher than it ever should be. And even if my parents are divorced, I was super happy that they both still communicated and helped with raising my brother and I.
I
Really
know.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know someone that came out 18 years old, had to get shit-faced to do it. Came out. It was never discussed in the family again.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So that is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
That's
That was a
something I
fear.
can't relate to, where
You
it's
know,
like,
that
dude,
is.
that's your child. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, it's madness. Here's the thing that I think bums a lot of people out. Nobody wants to be called homophobic, transphobic,
Yeah.
you know, go run down the list. But when that's your weapon to just anybody that doesn't agree with this narrative right here that we're establishing and changing every day, if you're not fully on board, that means you're one of these horrible things. And for most people, they just want to back away from that.
Yeah, and they don't want to be
It's-
associated with those groups, so
No.
they don't push back.
Right. And we're starting to see some pushback with school boards. I wonder where you think this is going long term. Are
I'm
we just
hoping-
all a gender fluid nation, you know, in 20 years?
You know,
or-
and that's the thing. It's like I do want trans people, gay people, lesbians. I want them to just live their lives and have a good, like, just be themselves and
Yeah.
live their life. The problem is that it gets so pushed onto everyone else that I feel like it's gonna start people are gonna start hating them, and
Yeah.
it might become a bit of a bigger fight than it ever needed to be.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you see the pushback from the trans community whenever somebody says something like, you know, like, well, I just think trans are weird, and instead of, you know, just saying like, well, why do you think that? They're gonna
Yeah.
say, you're a fucking monster. You're
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
You're a homophobe, transphobe.
Transphobe.
Just
Transphobe.
Yeah.
Shut up,
just
transphobe.
attack. That's it.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
attack. When I think that the healthiest thing and the thing that I've done with everybody I've ever talked to is I just talk to them like, well, why? And
Yeah.
as soon as you question, like, wait a second, I have to back this up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Should be
it's
easy to verbalize.
Yeah.
Should
And
be-
eventually you'll find that middle ground in there where maybe they're like, well, you know, I had a bad experience with a trans person,
Yeah.
or somebody shouted me down, or I didn't like them because, you know, I was raised this way.
Right. It seems like, you know, you're taking off the table because there's just shitty people.
Yeah.
And
It's just shitty
that
people.
includes
Doesn't
gay
matter.
people or trans people too. You can be trans and an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't get to walk this planet leveling up above everybody like you're not capable of being an asshole because you're trans.
Yep.
No, that doesn't work like that. So people that want to just have the discussion, like, hold on, let's talk about this really quick. So you're talking about a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old. You want to put
Yeah.
them on puberty blockers. That seems a little crazy.
Yep.
Can we talk about this? No, transphobe.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't have kids. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm never going to have kids.
Same.
Right?
You're good.
But I can see how that would be terrifying to parents, and then they don't feel comfortable speaking up because they know the bomb that's going to be launched
Yeah.
at them.
And they don't want their job to be lost. They don't want to lose anything
Right.
at work. They don't want their friends and peers to hate them.
yeah,
And because it's such a easy topic to hit, and it's gotten so broad,
Yeah.
it's like as soon as you can say like, oh well, you know, I've got gay friends, I've got trans friends, but you know, I don't agree with this policy. Transphobe, immediate,
Yeah.
like whole red line. So now nothing that you've ever done in your life that you've worked to be friends with the gay community, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're just a transphobe now.
Yeah.
yeah. So does the gay community treat you different? Do you think?
A lot of them do. There's also a big part of that community that's a little bit more sane, that,
Yeah.
that are more like, yeah, we get it. People don't agree with it. That's okay.
Yeah. Are there a conservative gay?
Oh yeah,
wing?
there's a lot of
Like,
there's a lot of
yeah,
conservative gays.
I would
They're
think
just
so too.
not exactly the most attractive bunch, so that's my problem. It's really hard to find a guy you can go shooting with who doesn't look like, well, you.
Me.
Sorry.
Damn it. Such
No
an ass.
offense, but
See,
I'm gonna
well,
find you real
You
quick.
could be gay assholes,
Yeah,
right?
see?
Just proved it. Son of a bitch. All right, I have a list here.
Okay.
Actually, let me show you this video first.
Okay.
And maybe you can explain what's going on here. This idea of drag queens in,
Oh, boy.
in elementary schools, high schools, in libraries. Here's the latest one. Hold on, before you hit that, T.
Okay.
So this is a student club at Ankeny High School in Ankeny, Iowa. They hosted a drag event on Monday that featured multiple performances, at least one of whom delivered a speech intended to help students navigate their gender identity. The high school's Gay Straight Alliance Club. I guess there's a lot of those.
Yeah, we had one in my high school.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay. I think I've seen that logo,
Yeah,
the
the
GSA. They hosted the performance after school for their end of year meeting without authorization from administrators. I don't buy that. I don't think you're reserving the gym
Yeah.
No.
without administrators.
You're definitely not
hijacking
getting
it.
people in
Yeah,
there.
bullshit. I
Yeah.
don't buy that. Images and videos from the event were posted to a public Facebook. So they screenshotted a couple of these things. They were, of course, immediately removed when they hit, the internet. People
Yep.
went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's weird. Go figure.
In one video, a drag queen explained to students that drag helped the performer with the very beginning stages of her gender identity journey. When I felt I couldn't express myself in school or felt I had to look like this at school. I could be whoever I wanted to be. And I started to think, what is gender? And I realized no matter what pronouns you use, you are who you are. I know on the inside I am who I am. School district released a statement saying, although the GSA is an approved school club, the performance did not follow correct protocols prior to the meeting. This performance was after school and localized to the students participating in the club. It was not approved by the building administration. It is currently under investigation. Yeah, I don't buy that.
No,
I remember what it was like to.
Well, you can't say anything. You're a transphobe then.
Right. Yeah. So let's check this out from the high school in Iowa.
Go Iowa.
Just
Okay.
All right.
that just would have been so off the mark.
Yeah.
When we were kids, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
just
Well, even if
the
it
outfit alone
wasn't
would
a-
have got
even if it
thrown out.
wasn't like a cross dress or anything like that, that's still weird for a high school event.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's-
it seems weird.
That's the problem that I see a lot of times. It's like these things that should just be weird in general for high school events. Like
Yeah.
that is a person in a leotard. Doesn't matter male or female. It's a person in a leotard with very little little covered.
yeah.
Dancing very
Doing-
sexually.
yeah,
There's a
right,
sexual
basically
nature
doing
to
a
all
shouldn't
of
be in
it.
high
striptease,
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
At a high school.
next on stage, cinnamon.
Yeah.
Like, I remember performing at the talent show. They had me change the words to Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. They had me change all the words from like cigarette and like hell. I couldn't
Oh
say
my
those
God,
two words.
really?
Yeah, because it's a high school event.
Wow.
So I had to change it to like rotting the prison cell and then also like behind a silhouette.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, so I had to change the lyrics because those were, inappropriate words. Cigarette
Oh,
and hell.
the times are changing.
Yeah, and now it's like that. That's
And
a
you'd probably
school
still
event.
have to change those lyrics.
Probably
Is the irony
That's
of
the
that
hard
whole
part.
thing.
Yeah. What did Ed say on stage that got Palky chasing him around the fucking school?
No idea.
Remember when
but I
he
don't
was
remember what the
hosting
hell
one
it
of the
was.
shows? I think he called the Flag Girls the Flagettes.
Oh, the flagettes. Yeah, the flagettes.
Like
yeah,
like
the,
made,
yeah, the
That's
flag
funny.
corps.
and the
yeah,
fucking
the
assistant
flagettes.
principal chased his ass literally off the stage, even back then.
Yeah,
you know?
the
It's
flagettes. Right. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's funny. It's stupid.
I think it's funny.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward and Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938, and they offer free pickup and delivery. That's right, free pickup and delivery. They use only the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor-free. The intact button guarantee means no broken buttons. It's a full-service dry cleaners. Visit janetdaviscleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC and get $20 off your first home pickup for new customers only.
Why is that on the screen up there? That's not being broadcast, right? That
No, I think it's just
Oh,
your computer. It's got
no. Fuck.
Remind me tomorrow.
I don't think so.
Garrett's a nerd. He probably knows.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's not on there. It doesn't show it on this one. It only shows it on that one.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think.
I think it's just a TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you want to do with your life?
I'm
Not
a
to
little.
sound like a Twisted Sister
Yeah, it's
video,
like you
but-
just threw everything at me
Yeah.
right there. I'm like,
Bang.
whoa, this is a little existential.
Have
for
you
me.
figured out life yet? You son of
I'm
a
working
bitch?
on it. Stop. No, but I mean, overall in life, I mean, just whatever makes me happy is kind of where I've been going. Because I recently was a trucker, hated that job. I ended up
Really?
getting fired. Yeah, it was just something I fell into because a friend was working there, got me a job. So I've been working a lot of just jobs.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I want to do for a career yet. I know I don't want to, spend all the money on college yet before I figure that out.
Yeah.
But I've just been going from job to job, seeing what I like, seeing what works, getting different like certifications, things like that through these jobs. Like right now, I got a chauffeur's license because it was a box truck and things like that. I got a DOT, so now I'm open to all these trucking jobs.
Nice.
And it's just
But you didn't like trucking.
no, I didn't like it.
It's boring,
It's
right?
boring. I mean, I can do the road. I was listening to the Detroit cast every day.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I can do the road and everything like that, but it was the getting to every stop and having to unload like 3 pallets worth of food to every Coney Island in the area.
Oh, really?
I'm not built
They
for
don't
that.
unload that?
Nope, I unloaded it.
Oh, yeah, that would suck.
200 pounds on a dolly, run that down a ramp. I only weigh 150 soaking wet, so
Yeah.
it's flinging me.
Yeah. All right, can I ask you some questions?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I got this
And
story.
then to
the
answer
other
the
day.
question completely, just
Huh?
I'd love to be a musician. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I have been doing.
Yeah,
There
you've
you
been
go.
playing guitar for
17
17
years. Yeah, drums too.
Drums too?
Bass, piano. You throw something in front of me, I'll figure it out.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome. I want to hear some of your music. I really do.
I'll try and record some. I mean, like I said, my brother and I have just been messing around back and forth. We
Dude,
can't.
we have an
get anything
Apollo
written down.
here. We can fucking record you in 5 minutes.
Man, I'll have to Call him up. Be like, hey man, I got a studio we can go to.
Yeah, we can hook you up. I'll get Trav over here, make a day of it.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I got to get that side finished.
I know that's going to be the jam room eventually.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a lot of.
We get that on.
I saw the kit.
Get that
It's a nice
mic'd
kit.
up and everything.
Yeah.
Phone.
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. You could tour the world with that kit. It's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. So, now
Mm-hmm.
I read this article. What you should never, all caps, say to a gay person. London-based writer and broadcaster Matt Cain, Channel 4 News' first ever culture editor, former editor-in-chief of Attitude magazine, is currently presents Virgin Radio Pride. He's got a new book out. The Secret Life of Albert Entwistle celebrates how British societies become much more accepting of gay people. However, the author says that straight people can often cause offense without meaning to. What you should never say to a gay person.
Okay.
Shit, am I out of line? Because you're a gay person. I can't.
I'm gonna give you the pass.
All right.
This
It's-
is all in just interview process. It's not an attack.
It's not an attack, and it will never be an attack.
Exactly.
It's such a waste.
Regarding what?
I don't know. I like you would have been.
I mean, my mom one time told me, she's like, you're too handsome to be gay. You're leaving it off the women. It's like you're
Yeah.
kind of like wasting all that potential that you could get any girl with. I was like, eh.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's referring to that, but
Maybe.
Let's not act like human beings only matter to each other as potential sexual or romantic partners. There's an abundance of other ways in which different kinds of relationships with different kinds of people can enrich all of our lives. Telling a gay person their existence is wasteful can only make them feel like there's something wrong with them or they've failed in some way. And if they've been made to feel like that growing up, if they've spent years wanting or even trying to be straight, you may unwittingly be opening up an old wound. I would never have dreamed of asking that. Like, really? That's your lead one?
That's yeah. I'm questioning the list now. If that's the
Oh no, it's fine.
All right.
The
Okay.
list is fine. But yeah, it's such a waste. I've never even thought that of someone like. I guess maybe lesbian. You see a hot enough lesbian woman.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's fair.
oh,
it's
what
probably
a
the
waste.
same thing. Yeah, for a
But
good-looking
that's what
guy,
they
like,
mean.
oh, what a waste. You're
That's what
wasting
I was
that
meaning.
on
It's like, yeah, it's
dick.
like-
Oh,
you could have any girl and you can't.
Yeah.
Just can't.
And all that means, so if you see a hot lesbian girl, all you're really saying when you go, oh, what a waste. I could have banged her.
Yeah.
And now I
Yep.
can't.
Yeah,
like,
no.
that's all you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you could.
I can't, but I could have. I had my day.
Sure.
I know.
I had a time. Why didn't you come out of the closet sooner? You never say that to a gay person?
I think you can. I don't. If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, I never really thought about it. Maybe it's just, bad time, bad place.
yeah.
I just kind of did when it felt right. The
Everybody's got
conversation
their own
came
journey. Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. And it would have been much
I
easier.
mean, my dad met
20
my
years ago.
boyfriend before he knew I was gay.
Really?
Yeah.
How awkward is that?
A little bit. My car broke down. He was the closest guy. So I was like, hey, Dad, I'm coming back from a concert at, it's 11 o'clock at night. And he was only 40 minutes down the road. So I was like, can you just come pick us up?
Yeah.
It's just a friend of mine and I. And, he gets there. This guy is big orange puffy coat. He has painted nails. And he's just like, so is this your friend? I'm like, yeah. Later on, I did admit. I was like, yeah, that's my boyfriend. Hey, this joke.
You did?
Dad.
Right then?
Well, not at that moment, but like a couple weeks later, I was like, yeah, that wasn't my friend. That was my boyfriend. Anyways,
Really?
Yeah.
And he was like, right on, dude.
Yeah. He was just like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. He
fair
seems
enough.
like a nice guy.
Yeah. That's awesome. What happened with Joe?
Joe, oh, yeah. 2 years down the line, it just kind of like the way he was living, the way I was living, weren't working out. So we're still good friends. I could text him right now if I wanted to and tell him I'm on the show. He'll listen.
Right on.
But it's just the way our lives were going, separated.
Gary's listening, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
What's that?
I can tell. That's my dad.
Oh, yeah? Your
Yeah.
dad's
Oh, yeah,
listening?
he's listening close.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Absolutely.
So why they say you can't ask a gay person why it took so long to come out of the closet seems like an obvious answer to me.
Yeah.
Like obviously everyone's journey, depending on their personal home situation, would make that a tough decision.
And when they
for
know,
sure.
because
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a process.
Oh, yeah, it's a long time of you questioning yourself before you
absolutely.
come out.
Yeah.
Why do we still need Pride Month? Can't ask a gay guy that, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should ask him too because I don't think it should be a whole month. Why do we give veterans a day and gay guys a whole month?
Yeah.
It's like all I did was suck a
Strong.
dick. I don't deserve a month.
That's your boy, Gary.
Strong.
Yep.
That's your boy, Gary.
Hi, Dad.
Pride is the opposite of shame, and one of the functions of Pride events is to offset the shame many of us have been made to feel about our sexuality. They also exist to honor the sacrifices made by gay, lesbian, and bisexual people of the past, people who endured familial rejection, professional dismissal, social exclusion, criminal conviction, imprisonment, torture, electric shock therapy, blah, blah, chemical castration. I can see that argument.
Yeah.
There are loads of gay people who had a much shittier life and existence than today's community.
And I think
no doubt about
only
it.
problem I ever have with the whole Pride Month is that it becomes a cash grab for companies.
Yeah.
So it's just like, as soon as June 1st hits, I think it's June. It's like as soon as June 1st hits, I'm like, all right, Target, you want to put your money where your mouth is? Like, send me some money.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they're just going to sell you t-shirts.
Yeah, they're just going
with
to sell you
rainbows
t-shirts
on
with
them.
rainbows on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, cool, you're going to take my money.
Walmart's catching shit today. They had
Yeah.
to pull something back because they were doing a Juneteenth
boy.
celebration with a ice cream flavor made by their company that featured red velvet, like red, green, black.
The red, the black, and the green.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Using the colors, and then they've got like party hats and like napkins for Juneteenth and all this shit. And people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
right.
Now they know how the gays feel.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
So not only is it's Father's Day, it's my daughter's birthday, and it's Juneteenth. I was like, what are we doing, Sky? Like, what are we doing for Juneteenth?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a whole thing, but yeah, they had to walk it back because people were like, man,
Yeah, maybe it's not
you know
a
what,
party.
Walmart? There's a fucking black ice cream owner who makes a very similar flavor.
How about you sell his
How
stuff?
about you sell his shit instead of inventing your own to make an extra cash grab on the backs of, Juneteenth?
Yeah.
With, it's just absurd.
I think, and Pride Month's fine, but I think it should just be a week because in the scale of how we
Dude,
have all
it's
these
365 days a year. Were you listening when we went through the list?
Went through it
Yeah.
all.
Uh,
Every
right,
month,
every-
every
right.
week,
Every
every
day.
Every other
is
day.
something. Yeah.
It was every other day. It was
Well, when you got 74 genders, it's
Yeah,
how do you?
you're right, you're
There's
right.
only
I
50,
think
there's
today
only
we're on,
52 weeks in a year, so you figure it out.
let's see. Who's the man and who's the woman in the relationship?
That's not like a bad question to ask. I think it's just a dumb one because you're both men or both
Right.
women.
And let's be honest, we can tell.
Yeah.
You know
Generally,
what I mean? Like,
Generally, you walk up to a couple, like, oh,
yeah.
that one can kick my ass.
It's really a meaningless question.
Yeah.
You walk up to a pair of lesbians, it's like, oh yeah, that one's wearing the strap on.
And even if they
That
both
one.
look, like very feminine women, it's just generally it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because
No,
in their relationship, there's no, in relationships I've had, there's never been like a man and a woman. It's just like we're just a couple dudes.
It's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's disrespectful, I suppose.
Yeah. Where do you land on the lispy gay?
It
'Cause
gets
you're
a
not-
little
you're
annoying,
not
but that's just
lispy at
how.
all.
Yeah, I get that a lot. People are like, "You're gay." I'm like,
Yeah.
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 Go figure. Some
Why
of them
don't
are
you?
normal.
Why aren't you all flamboyant and queening out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hold
What
on,
you wearing,
guys.
pink.
I forgot to paint my nail before I got here.
Yeah. But you don't do that.
No.
Are more gay people not doing that?
I think it just depends on how you were kind of raised, I guess. I mean, sometimes it's like I think a lot of them got it off social media and things like that. But then again, it was going on way back before social media. But it's just, it kind of became like the identifier, like some guys having one earring or something, or the clothes they wear, it became like an identifier, like a style thing. So they all started speaking a certain way.
Yeah.
And that became like the gay way to speak.
Yeah. It's funny to see in San Francisco.
Yeah.
In New York City. Last time I was in New York City, I'm standing in line to buy some water behind a guy in the most dragged out fucking trans dude you've ever seen. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit.
And nine times out of 10, if you walk around in public and drag and everything like that, people look and go, oh.
Yeah.
And they move on with their day.
Yeah. They're going to be bummed when they realize nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there's not violence. Doesn't mean that there's not
There's
struggle.
one hillbilly asshole that'll
There's
fucking
always
say
but
something
he's gonna
or
do the same
do
thing to a black
whatever.
guy, or
exactly.
there's gonna be one guy.
But those are the
hates
dregs
this
of
group.
society. So
Yeah.
fuck those people.
Exactly.
On every level, no matter where
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
There in I think it was Ferndale, maybe Royal Oak, but I think it was Ferndale. There was a guy out there. I don't know if he's still out there, but years and years and years ago, full fucking drag. He was probably 6'3" to begin
Sounds
with,
like Ferndale.
6'4". Yeah, highest heels in the world, the most red fucking dress, but he'd still have a beard on. He'd just be sitting at a coffee shop having coffee, and he was just like a staple in the community. No one gave a shit.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times it's just if you're just living your life, doing whatever you do, and you're not hurting anybody, nobody gives a fuck.
No one cares.
Nobody
Right.
cares.
Yeah.
I
I was wondering what's wrong with just being like a feminine gay male.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
No,
it. It's
you know
just
what I mean?
Pushing
Like-
it on other people's where it gets.
Well, no, not even that. I just mean like as far as like the identifying of it's the gender and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like, why can't you just like be just a feminine gay?
and there are
male?
guys who do that.
Yeah. Like, why does it have to be something else? Like, you still have a dick. You're
Yeah.
still gay. You're still,
Yeah.
I just,
Walk around a
but
little
that's
lispy.
like it's like almost offensive. Like,
Yeah.
I recently learned, and I had no idea about this,
Oh boy.
that not every gay couple is into the butt fucking scene. I did
Really?
not. I didn't
See,
know
I didn't know
that.
that either.
what?
I
Really?
just learned that. I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, for me, it was just getting a relationship. It didn't have to be the whole,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
part. But I never thought about it like that. Like there are people who just never think
Just
about
oral
that
only,
part.
or what are we
I
talking
guess.
here? Huh,
I
interesting.
guess, yeah. Hey, man, I'm a work in progress myself. I'm just
Yeah.
learning, but I was like,
Yeah.
really? I thought that was.
That's how you did it.
Figured that's that's
You-
part of
you'll
the
have
deal.
to-
I thought that's. Yeah.
You'll have to see my pride flag that I drew.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I did see it,
upstairs.
yep.
Were you watching that day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think I nailed it. I mean, it was
It's pretty
meant
solid,
For,
pretty
meant for a
solid.
second grade class.
I might do a little bit of a better rendition, but I think you're good
Yeah.
because I think you forgot the trans part of that flag.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you should put that in there.
What's the trans?
I think
part
it's that white, pink, blue, and brown.
Shit.
Yeah, there's more colors. You're gonna have to add more colors.
Oh my god.
Now it's offensive.
Oh man.
It's not just the rainbow anymore. We added more.
You don't seem gay.
That's the one I get the most.
Really?
Yep. You don't see
Is
No,
that,
is that a-
is
is
that a
that-
compliment?
yeah. Is
Almost?
that offensive? Is
It's
that,
not
man?
offensive. It's just like I am.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I know, but that's where.
Yeah.
And that's probably the stigma and the stereotypical of the, you don't have the lisp, you
No,
don't,
I don't
you
have
don't
the-
act
I'm not
all
dressed all
feminine
crazy.
and
No.
flamboyant.
I'm wearing
and
jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
used to people that are gay, like making sure that they know you're gay.
Yeah. No, I don't care if they know or
No,
not.
I know.
What this author says is if you say this to a gay person without realizing it, if you're measuring them against stereotypical characteristics or behavior, for example, the idea that all gay men are good at giving fashion advice or like to go on shopping trips or spa days or tell outrageously funny jokes over trendy
Oh, they're gonna be
cocktails.
disappointed with me.
None of these are insults in themselves. They may be even intended as compliments, but they can suggest we're cartoon characters rather than fully rounded human beings.
It's the same thing if you ask a black guy where he's like, "Do you like rap music?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just
You play basketball?
yeah, you play basketball. It's like you're not really trying to offend him. Like maybe you're just trying to get a game of basketball going, but
Right,
you
right.
knew you picked the one guy out of the crowd.
Yeah.
I kissed a girl once and I liked it. Why could you never say that to a gay person?
I don't know.
I could say that.
Yeah.
Straight men can sometimes be vocal about how much they enjoy watching two women perform some kind of lesbian act for their sexual gratification.
Okay.
Guilty as charged. This can lead to straight women feeling under pressure to indulge in such activity, and I know several who've kissed female friends out of genuine curiosity. But please don't make the mistake of thinking this resembles the experience of being a lesbian, someone who's defined by her attraction to other women, and will often be judged for it. Okay, this is a good one.
Okay.
Never say to a gay man. I think this is bullshit. Personally,
Never ever.
All right.
I know a gay man. I should set you two up.
I haven't gotten that one, but
No?
that is-
Never?
That's kind of like it's kind of like if it's like, oh, my sister's single. Do you want to meet her? You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's an offensive thing. It's just more so like, hey, I know somebody and you're single,
Yeah.
so it's like it could work for straight people too.
Right.
So I don't see the problem with it, but
Honestly, if it's like, I don't know.
I think it's just somebody's trying to help.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. But to be
Just think it's such a narrow thing. Like, oh, you're gay? I know somebody that's gay. Boom.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
magic. Like
Yeah.
that's all it
No,
takes.
it's the same odds that like
Yeah.
your
Like,
friend,
that's the
your
only
friend in the
criteria.
office is going to get along with your homie who's just
Yeah.
got dumped.
But I would say honestly, and this is my naivete, and certainly before dating apps and stuff, this
Yeah.
would have been much, much different. I wouldn't even know where to find a gay guy, like around here. Like that just would
Ferndale.
have been well, Ferndale, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like it would. So I would have appreciated if I was gay, if someone came up and went, "Dude, I met this gay guy. He's great.
Yeah,
you want to go on a
cool
date with him?"
suggestion. Yeah,
I think when you're
I don't
gay,
think
you
that's
know
bad.
where to find a gay guy.
Yeah, obviously,
so-
obviously. But you know,
then it depends on what kind of gay guy you're looking for. Because then you got to start parsing out the clubs, the coffee
Bears.
shops, yep.
the Bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that, but apparently
I
this
don't
guy
either.
says
I think that's just a friend trying to help.
that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like
it
to
just
me.
sounds like if my friend said like, "Hey, I know a gay guy over here. He seems like a nice guy. Do you want to try on a date?" I'm like, you know what? I'm single. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, let's go have coffee.
Exactly.
That's
And
a
if it
big
doesn't
deal.
work, it
You
doesn't
never
work.
know.
Yeah,
Could be the one.
I wish I were gay. Things would be so much easier.
they are.
Are they?
Don't deal with women.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a bonus, man.
I can play video games, and the boyfriend will call up, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Playing video games." Like, "Cool, me too." Then you just hang up. You're done.
Yeah. I would have put you guys in the special category not that long ago. Like you can't be fired, you got to
No.
be hired.
I make that joke all the time at work.
Yeah.
Or back when I was working, it was like they'd be, I was a butcher for a while, right? And every time they would say something like, "We need you to do the dishes or something," or blah blah blah. You need to do this. I'm like, "I don't want to do that." They're like, "Well, do it or you're fired." I'm like, "Is that gay harassment?
yeah,
Are
you're
you
gonna fire the
homophobic,
gay guy.
right? You're gonna fire the gay guy, huh?"
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was always a joke. They knew I was messing with
fucking
them.
around.
Oh yeah, I love fucking around with it.
I use that too. Is
you
it
go.
because I'm black?
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, man. It's a weird world we're living in. I appreciate you coming in, dude.
No problem.
This was a lot of fun. Did you?
Great to meet you.
I hope so. Bring your brother next time.
I will.
Bring your
I will.
mom
I
and
will.
dad.
If they want to join on in.
Yeah. So why don't we kill it there, T?
Good enough for me.
Yeah, I think we get some insight, and it's cool to see young people not folding to the media, Hollywood, mainstream narrative that really feels forced. I think that's my biggest problem with it. It feels very, very bullyish.
I agree.
And forced.
It feels like they're trying to punch you in the face with all this when it should just be like tapping you and let you know it's there.
Yeah,
and
exactly right. Yeah,
I've said it before too. Like I was all in on the trans community.
So was I.
But it almost feels like harassment and bullying to the point where I'm like, you know what, go fuck yourself, man.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Is turning too many people way the other way.
Like getting waterboarded when you needed a drink of water.
Exactly. Like if you met them halfway, they'd probably be your friend. You'd have a lot more support. But if you throw everything at them all at once, they're gonna be like, well, what the fuck is this? I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. It's scary, but dude, I think you're a great guy. I think you're well-spoken, smart, good-looking. The world's your oyster.
What's going on with the FAG department?
Oh, the FAG department? I mean, I got the mission statement if you want to run that.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been waiting.
I had it recorded. It was had some music bed underneath it. I was doing really well. Did some production.
Yeah.
But I'll just do this live since that won't send.
All right.
Trying not to mess this up.
Okay.
Hello, TDC monsters. This is the TDC Woke Bay. You may know me from the numerous emails. Well, I'm here as the self-appointed head of the Future Advancement of Gays Department, better known as the FAG Department. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. The TDC Woke Bay doesn't have an obnoxious, over-the-top Valley Girl voice. And to that I say, wow, you homophobic. I'm going to tell your work that you're homophobic and you made it racist remarks. I don't care if I made that part up. It's true now. And you're going to get canceled, pal. Now, don't worry. I'm only joking. What I would actually say is welcome to the goal of the FAG Department. Our mission is to hopefully spread the message that not all LGBT LMNOP 123 people are as dumb as the news likes to project. In fact, we hate the dumb ones just as much, if not more, than you do, because now we have to be roped in with those stereotypes and political views. The FAG Department, headed by me, the TDC Woke Bay, is a network of people all around the world, like me, who can't stand the current climate regarding trans and gay rights. Quite honestly, we wish those queers would shut the fuck up and go back to their studio apartments making BuzzFeed articles about Ryan Reynolds' spectacular abs. Now, while I'll admit Ryan Reynolds does have spectacular abs, and what I think and believe doesn't have to be what you think and believe. I've teamed up with the wonderful TDC Podcast, hopefully to get the message out that not all LGBT, whatever the fuck you want to be people, are trying to make you see things their way and actually just want you to live your life as well as they live theirs. And it's for this reason I've created the TDC FAG Department. In addition, I'd like to give back to you monsters some small way. I've created an email specifically for this department. Think of it as a non-politically correct contact that you can email about fag-related issues. Have a friend or a loved one that come out as gay and trans? Maybe I can help. Thinking of being gay or trans yourself? Maybe I can help. Live too close to Ferndale? Maybe I can help. Just want to send me hate mail? I welcome your opinions and don't think anyone's better than anyone else. Hopefully I can provide a small bit of comfort in these annoying times of trans and gay-related issues as head of the FAG department. And then I had, this was sped up, so I'm going to try and read it faster. Views and opinions of the FAG department do not reflect TDC or its host. This is an independent department of its own agenda. Registered Ill-Gotten Gains Advisor, member Interrupt FAG.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Garrett, that is
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in, brother.
Beautiful.
I hope you had fun
Appreciate
with me and T.
Yeah.
We will definitely do this again.
I'm open for it. As long as I'm free, I'll be in.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. T and I will be back tomorrow.
Isis
is coming in.
Is this
allegedly.
Isis is?
Yeah.
it's
Which
mine.
chair is he? Okay, because I want to leave a hot
yours.
fart in Isis' chair.
No,
leave it in that one over there.
I'll wait till you move.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you again, Garrett.
No problem.
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.